Hey guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Ginny, and today we are talking about my Lichen duster and Dolly. Dolly is my mannequin's new name. She's been dubbed Dolly by Catherine C, who commented on her lack of stability last week. There were quite a few comments about Dolly taking a tumble last week, and so I'm glad you guys found that as amusing as I did. It was actually very hard for me to keep a straight face. Anyways, we're going to get to our Lichen duster here in just a minute, but aside from the Dolly comment, there were a couple of others. A lot of you guys actually commented that you would love to see the Plinkapant hack to make the Nanny Eero type pants, and in fact Charlotte has now decided that those pants should be called Plinkeros, which again is another really funny name. I don't know, you guys, you always crack me up. So I'm gonna get to the Plinkeros, and that will be next week. In fact, I just bought some really beautiful linen. I'm gonna go grab it really fast. As usual, I should have been more prepared. This is some really beautiful linen that I just got yesterday at Haberman's when I was at work. And I got it to go with this lovely fabric that I got from, this is from Stone Mountain & Daughter. It is a cotton linen blend. I don't know if you can see that, but they look wonderful together, and I'm super excited. I'm going to use these for our Plinkero pants. And I was originally thinking about using this for a Sew Liberated Hinterlands dress, but I haven't decided. I might do something more simple, like I might do another Tina Gibbons Bella with some hacks to that. So we'll see. I don't know what that's going to be exactly yet, but anyways, yeah, that is all the fabric purchases I've made this week, and you guys will be impressed to know I did not buy a single pattern this week. Sorry, it's always so hard for me to get comfortable in this chair. I need a better chair. When I get my new house, I'll have a better chair. Karen asked if I would be interested in doing a Zoom chat with some of you guys. So if anybody is interested in that, I would totally be open to that. If you just leave me a comment below, let me know if you're interested in doing some sort of a group Zoom chat. That would be really fun for me. Of course, if you're not interested in that, no big deal. I'll just Zoom Karen. It'll just be Karen and I. And what else? Natasha is the only person who wanted to see the facing tutorial for the matcha top. I am going to do that. I'm going to do the Plinka pants first, and then we'll do the matcha top, Natasha, so I will get to that, I promise. And then because I was working on a Lichen duster, and Bluegrass Dreams commented that she would like to see how I put that collar together. So really today is all about that. I'm going to show you guys a quick tutorial. It's very fast on how I do this collar. It is a little bit different than most directions tell you to do it, because most directions will tell you to pivot at the corners and go around. I don't do that. I find my way just easier for me. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So when you have a pattern like this, you have two front pieces that have the collar that looks like this. This is the center back of your collar. So essentially these two pieces are going to get sewn together like that. Your shoulders are here. That's your center back neck. Other shoulder, center front. Okay? So the first thing we want to do is sew this seam together. So right sides together. Sew this seam and then press it open. So once you get that center back neck seam sewn, you should have something that looks kind of like this. So then we're going to take our center back piece like this, and you should really have some marks on this piece and also on the front piece that show you where to turn your corners. This pattern does not have those, very helpfully. So I just put a pin right here. It's a 1/2 inch away from this neck edge. That's where I want to stop my shoulder stitching. So I put that on both sides. And now we're going to put our front face down. So you can see this is the center back of our neck. It's going to line up with that eventually, but we're not going to deal with that right now. We're going to start over here on the shoulder. This is our shoulder seam. It looks very weird, but it goes like this. We know it needs to match up on this end at the shoulder right here, sorry, at the armhole right here. And we know it needs to match up right here where I have that pin on the back side. Right there. Okay, so with those two pieces matched up, we're going to put, that's going to be our seam. We're going to start there and go right off the edge. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We know it needs to match up on this end. And we know it needs to match up more or less right here. I hope that's clear enough. Okay, so now I'm just going to go sew those two shoulder seams. I'm not going to do anything with this open neck right now. Okay, there we are with our shoulder seams sewn. Now we need to do this neck part, which is the tricky part. So the first thing we're going to do is right here where we have our shoulder seam sewn, we're just going to snip in there right to the point, right to close to where your sewing stops on both sides. And I'm just clipping the front piece. It's not going to hurt if you come the back piece, but you don't need to. Now we're going to match the center back seam with the center back of our garment, like that. And then we're going to ease this in here. Now, it should fit in here pretty well. It's easiest for me if I just get all this stuff kind of out of the way. My sewing stops right here. Right here. So that's where I'm going to want to start sewing, and I'm going to try to keep this stuff as much out of the way as I can. And I'm going to sew right along this edge. And it should fit in there pretty well. It doesn't look like it's going to, you can see, but once you get all this stuff kind of out of your way. So on this side, right here is where I'm going to stop sewing. So we're going to move this stuff up, and you'll see your snip there. Just kind of ignore that. You want to be sure that you don't go over that, so your stitches cover it. Otherwise, you'll have a hole there. Get that out of your way. Like that. Alright, so the key is to start sewing exactly where you stop sewing, and then to move this fabric. You can see, you can almost lay it flat. Get all this stuff out of your way. Make sure it's flat on the bottom side too. And then you're going to sew straight across here and do the same thing on this side. Just make sure you get all of this shenanigans out of your way, and you may have to move it more than once to get right into that point. But you can see, just like this, it's actually going to lay pretty flat. If you have your shoulder seam sewn already and your snips in here, you should be able to get it to lay pretty flat. Okay, so once you've got that sewn in, you're going to press this seam allowance up into the neck. And depending on how you're finishing the rest of your garment, you may want to snip these and open your seams here, or whatever. You may want to finish that a different way. But that's what it should look like from the inside. And then this is the outside. And this is that tricky corner, just so you can see how it looks. And usually when I finish mine, it does look a little funky until I press it. Give it a good press to get that to lay nice and flat. This side, one of these sides came out really well. I don't think I can tell now. One of them I had to redo because it got a little pucker. Oh, it was this side. at a little pucker in this area right here, right before the corner. So don't get frustrated. It happens to everybody. Just pull out the few stitches and restitch them, and you're fine. This side came out a little bit better. I didn't have to fix it, so that's good. Anyways, that's it. Alright guys, I hope you found that helpful. Like I said, that is the way I do it. I seem to have the best success doing it that way, doing the shoulder seams first and then doing the neck afterwards. Okay, so aside from that, I am just going to show you a couple of really quick pictures of me here in my Lichen duster. I don't think I have anything bad to say about this. I had really good, I had success with this pattern. I think I mentioned this last week and it bears repeating. It was a lot of work. I did all flat felled or Hong Kong seams on the whole thing, and there are a lot of them because there's a front, a center front, a side front, a gusset. Please don't fall, Dolly. One main piece for the center, for the upper back, and then on the bottom you have a side back, a center back, another side back, obviously, and then 2 gussets. So all those seams are either flat felled or Hong Konged. And I think I said this last week too. I use this, I'm showing you some pictures here. I hope you guys can see as I go along. I use some really, one of my very favorite pieces of fabric, which is a scrap of vintage cotton fabric that's dark gray with little pink and green bugs on it. And I had just enough. I mean, I think, I'm looking around to see if I have my scrap here. I think the scrap of bias tape I had left was about 6 inches, 7 inches long. That was it. So I just barely had enough to finish my coat. Let's see. See if I can tell you what's going on in these pictures. Obviously you can see Claude was anxious to get into the picture here too. I also have a quick video. I'm just going to show you the video really fast of me just moving around in it so you can see the jacket in motion. Alright guys, I am really proud of my jacket. I'm very happy with it. This color comes out really vibrant on camera, at least from what I can see. It's actually not super bright, but it is an orchid color. Anyways, I love jacket and I can't wait to wear it. Alright guys, I think that's it for me this week. As always, thank you so much for being here. Once again, I was overwhelmed by all the comments I got last week, so thank you so much for that. Until next week, peace and happy sewing.